just about every stock that makes market-beating returns, makes those big gains that we all want to be part of, almost every stock that does this starts with the same signal. I created an indicator to find it. I'm going to show you what that is and then show you a few examples of how well it works. Plus, we're going to talk about the overall markets. Of course, with the attacks on Iran, everyone wondering how that's going to affect stocks. We'll talk a little bit about historically how that tends to work out, and we'll talk about the price of oil as well. You might be surprised on my thoughts on that. And then finally, we'll look at the trade of the week, a stock on Thursday that made a dramatic gain, again, starting with this important signal. But let's begin with a discussion of that signal. Almost every stock that makes big gains does so by starting that move with abnormal activity. And here's why. Most stocks, most of the time, have some correlation to the overall market. So if the market goes up a little, most stocks go up a little. Stock market goes down a little, most stocks go down a little. And it's only when you decouple from that relationship to the overall market and make dramatic gains that we can say that the gains are attributed to something specific to the company. So if an oil company discovers a new deposit of oil, then we expect that their stock will move in an abnormal way to the upside. If a pharmaceutical company develops a new drug to cure some disease, we get an abnormal move to the upside. And these always occur on abnormal volume. Again, it makes sense. When there's some new information that justifies people paying a higher price, that the fundamentals suddenly got better, you get a rush of buyers coming into that stock. It creates this abnormal activity. And so I created an indicator to calculate that. Now, it's not enough to say, I want to look at all the stocks that go up 10% or 15%. The reason is because for some stocks, a 10% gain can be very normal, or at least not that outsized. If Microsoft, a large company, were make a big gain like that, even a 5% gain for a large cap tech stock, that's going to be abnormal. But a 5 or 10% move for a penny stock is not a big deal. So we can't just look for percentage gain. What we have to do is use statistical analysis, and I do this with computers, to find the stocks that are creating statistically significant abnormal price gains with statistically significant volume. So when we are looking for stocks that are about to explode in the market, we're looking for those that make these dramatic gains from boring trading. There's nothing going on, the stock is kind of boring. I'll show you a couple examples in a moment. And then they make these abnormal price gains. So I created this indicator. It's on my website, stockscores.com, for daily charts. And then for intraday charts, we use TradeStation, where I've created these indicators for TradeStation for my Stockscores students. The key is to see a visual confirmation of a break from low price volatility. And as always, it makes a lot more sense when we see a picture. So here's a stock that nobody cared about right here. It's boring, sideways trading. There's hardly any volume. And then right there, some bit of information hit the market and it caused people to buy the stock aggressively. You can see very obviously the huge price gains. We were under $1. By the end of the day, we were at $2.50. And it traded much more volume than normal. Now, these are the people buying that follow the stock the closest, or people like me who follow abnormal activity. I don't know anything about these stocks. I just follow the people that are aggressively buying the stock. Well, the result then is as more people learn about it, the stock makes an even greater gain. You know, it went from, say, $1 to $2.50, and then over the next week, it went from $2.50, $2.75, all the way up to $9. Now, that's on a daily chart. We can see this on a intraday chart as well. This is a 15-day, 60-minute chart of a stock that's done really well over the last week or so. And we've traded this a number of times in our active live service on Stockscores. Here we can see nobody cares about the stock, right? It's boring all the way leading into there. And then right here, it starts to behave abnormally with abnormal volume. And again, the result, moving up dramatically from $1.50 up to $7. Now, at the end of the video, I'm going to show you my TradeStation chart of a stock that made a big move on Thursday. And in that chart, I'll actually have that indicator plotted so you can see how it works. All right, well, now let's get into our normal market analysis. And lots of people wondering, is there going to be a big stock market crash? Is the price of oil going to skyrocket on Monday? Here's what I've learned from seeing a number of wars and attacks, particularly in the Middle East, of course. Generally speaking, wars are good for the stock market. The initial reaction is often founded in fear, and you can get, a big drop out of fear, and then very soon after a rebound. So as we go through the charts of the stocks in the scan that we always do, we'll pay attention to that. Now, a reminder, as we get into my website here, I'm going to pull up some charts. If you want to get on my email list, just click on this See More list here, See More link there. I send out an email once a week with stock picks and a little trading lesson. So let's jump into the S&P 500 first. And you can see that we've been more or less sideways. And perhaps one of the reasons that the market has been going sideways is just the uncertainty around the situation in Iran. It's no secret that the US was contemplating an attack on the country, and many traders, perhaps sitting on their hands, worried that that was going to happen. So are we going to get a dramatic sell-off on Monday? I wouldn't be surprised if we gap down to start the day, but in my experience, any weakness in the wake of a war or the start of a war is usually short-lived. So when I look at this 3-year weekly chart, unless this weekly chart, I'm not worried about what happens on a one-day chart, but on a weekly chart, unless we really break down and break this upward trend line, I'm going to stay relatively optimistic in the long term, although in the short term, we are neutral. Now, the NASDAQ has been lagging the large cap stocks, and it may also gap down to start the day on Monday, but probably within maybe hours or days, it should start to come back. So this is basically a neutral chart in the short term because we've been going sideways, a little bit down over the last few days. The 3-year weekly chart, not quite as good as the S&P chart because we have built a little falling top, but still relatively solid there. Now we're going to look at the oil chart in just a minute because that's going to be the important one, and I'll tell you what I expect on that. So on the Toronto Stock Exchange, been doing really well, outperforming the US stock markets despite tariffs and all the issues between Canada and the US over trade. The Canadian market continues to do very well. Banks doing well, mining stocks, oil stocks have been doing pretty well. So this market remains in a bullish trend. All right, now let's take a look at the, actually I forgot to look at the small cap market. We'll just do that quickly. And the reason that this is important, I'm going to show a chart at the end of this section here where we talk about bonds. And this may very well break to the upside and be a leader in the near term. It hasn't done that yet. It's building a nice pattern. We just need that upside breakout. And I'll show you why I think there's a good chance that that will happen very soon. All right, let's jump into the commodities now. And gold, of course, a safe haven. Anytime people worried about the potential for military action, you often see gold do well. And I think that gold started pricing this in a long time ago. Now we've seen after this parabolic trend and the break of a parabolic trend, gold has been coming back, but I think there's a good chance that we make a falling top. So this high here is higher than perhaps a high that we'll see early next week. And if we then roll over, we're going to have a sell signal on gold. That hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I think that's a likely thing that could happen. And so we want to watch for that very closely. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel here because I will keep you updated on that as things progress. All right, now the important chart I wanted to look at, USO, which is oil. Now many people, common sense, will say, well, there's violence in the Middle East and it's really broader than many expected. That has to mean that the price of oil will jump higher. I do think that there's a good chance it will open very strong on Monday. However, we have seen over and over again that the initial reaction is wrong. And the other issue is that oil, every time it gets to this price peak, the sellers come in. And you can see that we are at that again. This is strong resistance. And so we may open up in this area and then reverse and start to pull back like this again. By no means is that certain, but don't assume that because of the war going on in the Middle East that we're going to automatically see a big jump in oil. Because really, oil's been moving up for 2 months, and you could argue that oil has priced this in already. All right, moving along, let's take a look at the currencies. UUP is our US dollar. And it has been moving up the last few weeks, but generally, I would say mostly neutral, a little bit negative in the longer term trend. Bitcoin is one area that has really been bearish for some time, and it continues to look pretty weak. So I would be avoiding this for now because the trend is down. Until we break that downward trend line, you don't want to get too aggressive. Now, earlier in the video, I said that there is one chart that's very important for the small caps, and this is it. This is the US Treasuries. And you can see that we broke the downward trend 3 weeks ago, and the US bond market has been moving up, which means the market is pricing in lower interest rates. Remember, we're going to get a new Fed chair, and it's going to be picked by Trump. Trump really wants lower interest rates, so you would assume that he might lean towards someone that's going to be more lenient with interest rates, and the market has been pricing that in for a few weeks now. Now, the reason that the small cap market will maybe benefit from this is small caps in general just benefit from lower interest rates. And so eventually I think the market's going to catch up here. I think that many investors were sitting on their hands the last few weeks in anticipation of a breakout of a war in the Middle East. Now that that's happened, people have some certainty, and you'll start to see trades getting placed in response to something like this on the bond market. So my ratings then: US large cap short-term neutral, long-term bullish. NASDAQ bearish in the short-term, long-term neutral. US small cap neutral bullish. Canadian stocks bullish in both time frames. Gold short-term neutral, but it is getting better, and long-term bullish. But again, I'm really worried about the potential for a break of the upward trend from a falling top. So we'll watch that very closely over this week. Oil short-term bullish and long-term neutral because it is coming into that resistance zone. US dollar neutral in both time frames. Bitcoin still in the red, and bonds short-term bullish and long-term neutral. All right, now it's time for the trade of the week, and this is an example of a stock that we were focused on through the week on the Stockscores active live service. You can learn more about that at stockscores.com. And this is also an example of how abnormal activity starts big price moves, but in this case on a day trading chart, a very short-term chart. So this particular stock was one that we had on our watch list all day, and when it made this break right here, you'll see these little pink and yellow dots. Those pink and yellow dots are indicative of abnormal price and volume action. Now you can see it, that's obviously an abnormal price move, and you can see the volume jumping there. And if I was looking at this chart and watching only this chart, it'd be pretty easy to spot. The reason we have to have an indicator is because there's thousands of stocks to watch, and you need the computer to do the work. And so what I rely on is TradeStation, a program I use that I have these indicators written for, and I just monitor the market, or the computer's monitoring the market, and when we get one of these, I have a little voice that sounds off, and I know to look at that stock. And so within seconds, we can react to these abnormal price moves and get in before the big explosion to the upside in price. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this week's video. What do you think? Are we going to really gap down in the market? Are we going to see the market now resume the long-term upward trend, given that the news is now out there? Buy the rumor, sell the news, or in this case, sell the rumor, buy the news. We'll see how the market progresses, and the reaction in oil will also be interesting. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Hope you've enjoyed this week's video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and as always, trade well.